Hello and welcome to the Clashing of Steel. So today I want to show that even high tier players might not be smart players. There are of course exceptions, as there is always. So I'm with my tier 7 Salla. This is an older clip from back near the end of the closed beta. I was pretty much thrown into end tier battle. I was playing Salla and I basically didn't see anything else to do than just to defend the archers. It's not like I could have fought reasonably against tier 10s, but I could have used my prescription to support. Although I'm not doing much during this match, then this gonna be rather interesting. Well, this archer player was actually rather social and seemed to understand what he was doing. The biggest problem we encountered is that most opponents seemed to rush through from the west side of the map, while we were on the east. So after having a little fun here, me and the archers turned around to head back towards our base. Actually the archers requested some support, but I was the only one to give it. Everyone else just went full offense. Because I'm on the lowest tiers on this match, I need to be very careful. But then again, if I'm defending the archers, I can't do much. Around this point, the opponents are getting near our base. There is quite a lot of them, and well, they're all pretty much tier 10s, maybe 9s, couple of 8s probably. I do understand why the archers are going on that small cliff. It will be easy for me to defend and they can destroy the opponents. But if we want to defend this base properly, we need to go closer so that the archers can have range pretty much all over the base. As there don't seem to be many opponents here right now, they will be joining their team members soon enough. So this was actually an ideal spot. I could just use 2 units to seal off both ends of this small bottleneck and leave the archers in the middle. But because archers also need some room, it's gonna be a bit tight, so I'm going to need to press a bit out. Although right now I'm just covering to one side, I have to cover our rear soon enough. Against these odds in the base we would have actually had a chance, but as you see there are some archers and swordsmen trying to sneak in. Actually the problem we are encountering is that our team is further away from their base than their team is from ours. But fortunately, because these are high tier archers, they can do a lot. So basically 2 smart players are left to defend the base. We are actually in a really bad situation. We are outnumbered, probably 3 to 1 at least. But fortunately the opponent's archers aren't on tier 10. I managed to build up the stakes, and I actually can now somewhat defend the rear a bit better. Still, it is a bad situation because I probably need to stack all my units, and the archers units for that matter, but I did block out the charges. Both of our teams actually do a small T-cap. Well, my team does a small T-cap, they actually do a pretty big one. So the main thing to note is that smart players can bring the victory. We didn't use more tactics here than just sealing off the bottleneck, building stakes and stacking my units inside the archers, so that they can survive a bit longer and do any necessary T-capping if they can. Unfortunately, the clip ends a bit before we cap the opponent's base and win. But my goal was here to point out that these archers asked for help. I am the lowest tier of this battle. And those all tier 9s, 10s, 8s, they didn't come to his aid. I understood right away what that archer player was planning. I had the same idea. If all of us would have moved back from the east side, we would have probably defended our base very well and all stayed alive. It is often a factor that players don't listen. They don't understand the map, they don't understand the situations, and so they just want to fight and fight and fight. Even these tier 8s, 9s and 10s. And that is often why the matches are lost. Okay, there are many who can't play their commanders right, their units properly. But often enough, it's just the lack of numbers in the right areas. So this was pretty much how 2 smart players can help bring the victory. Suggestions I can give is to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the map, try to be social and work with your team. There are enough players who go in mindlessly and die. We don't need any more of them, so let's try and keep those numbers down. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe and thanks for watching.